Man, oh man. Look at all this crap. All these games. I've gotten these games over the past few months. When's the last time I did one of these pickup videos? Sometime in January, I think? Well, looks like it's time to change that. Let's take a look and see what I've gotten, shall we? Alright, after a unfortunate delay, we can now continue on with what I was intending to do. Long story, I'll explain it later. So, this is not going to be in chronological order, because I would be starting the show with a showstopper if I did that. So, this is going to be just based on my personal relevance, or whatever. And I think the best way to start it is the current gen Xbox, PS3 stuff that most people won't give a shit about. So, let's go at it. I have here God of War Saga, got that for $20. Hasn't been opened, funny enough, I still need to play it. Injustice Gods Among Us for $10. That was a damn good deal, that thing. Band Hero for, I think, $4.50 or something. Guitar Hero 2 for $5. Probably paid a little too much, but oh well. And finally, Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbaros Treasure for the Wii. I think I got this for $4 or $5. In case of the Guitar Hero stuff, now I own every Guitar Hero game that's been on the 360. Now to complete my Rock Band collection, which requires Lego Rock Band and Green Day Rock Band and, well, yeah. Yeah, I just got these out of the way because I assume most of you aren't going to care about these. Except $10 Injustice, thanks GameStop, and $20 God of War Saga, again, thanks GameStop. In fact, I think all except Guitar Hero 2 came from a GameStop. I don't know how I have good sales with them, yet everybody has horror stories. I will never understand it. I have been getting a bunch of PlayStation 1 games, because I was a Nintendo kid pretty much until the 2000s, so I never got I had a PlayStation, but I didn't have very many games for it, so I've been slowly picking up some. Such as Kiss Pinball for, I think, $2. Heard that was not very good, but whatever. Wheel of Fortune. Fun fact, I own almost every single Wheel of Fortune video game that has been ever made, except a bunch of the PC ones. I think I'm missing Family Edition on the NES, and I don't think I have the PS2 one either. I do have the Wii one, but you don't care about that. That's just me rambling. Funny enough, these were $2 each. Had they been $1 more, I would have completely skipped both of them. It was just a $2 price tag. It was too good to resist. Speaking of too good to resist, Golden Nugget. Yeah, you may think it's just some simple boilerplate casino game, but in reality, if you pay close attention to here, you can see Adam West's face and a little blurb that says something to the effect of more than 30 minutes of a live-action video starring Adam West, filmed on location at the Golden Nugget. I had heard about this thanks to a site called Dream and Friends. You could actually watch the entire FMV on YouTube if you don't want to buy the game like I did. I just bought it for the novelty. 2 discs. 2 discs for that crap. Speaking of crap, 007 Racing. It's made by the wonderful developers at Eutechnics, makers of such fine products as Ride to Hell Retribution, Hummer Badlands, and maybe, well, I don't know, maybe you like the NASCAR video games, I'm not sure. This game is not very good. In fact, I'm willing to say that every PlayStation 1 James Bond game was not that great. It's like, PlayStation owners got the Shaft, while N64 owners got GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough. Oh well, can't always bat 1,000. Air Combat, you know what better is Ace Combat. You know, let's just show it on the spine there, because stupid Goodwill sticker. $4, probably paid a little more than I should have for that, but it's Ace Combat. I've heard those games are pretty awesome. And finally, here's an interesting one. Snowboarding. Now you're thinking, why the hell did I get a generic snowboarding game, you dummy? Well, this is published by D3 Publisher, and this is a localization of a snowboarding game from Japan that was part of the Simple 2000 series. Haven't heard about it. It's basically a cheapo, like $20 US equivalent, 2,000 yen equivalent, really cheaply produced video games. I believe Earth Defense Force and Oni-Chanbara are part of that Simple series, and I got this because H-Tech localized a whole bunch of these. So if you ever find these, don't pass them up, man, unless you like some interesting piece of history. Alright, that's enough of the PlayStation games. Let's get to some PC games. Now, I saw this, Cybermage Dark Light Awakening. The cover art looks like something out of a 90s Image comic, you know, something like Rob Liefeld would put. But here's where it gets interesting. Yeah, you can kind of see it here in the corner, but it says that this is made by Origin Systems. Yes, Origin was a game developer before they became something that EA used to go against Steam and do very poorly at. This is a first-person shooter made kind of post-Doom but pre-Quake. So it had some interesting ideas for 1995. Heard some good things. It was like, I think it was $1.50. I think it was on half off of this price. I think that's why I picked it up. I'm a game show nut, as you probably could have told from the Wheel of Fortune, so naturally I couldn't let this pass me by. 2-minute drill. I forgot this was a video game. I actually saw this at a Goodwill, passed it up, and then I grabbed it when it came back around. Apparently must have went through the ringer and went through several Goodwills going unbought until now. Or I bought another copy that somebody sold. Whatever. This was a game show that was on ESPN for a couple of years. It was actually pretty good. It's a good quiz. It's a good quiz game show. I did not know this existed. I'm actually surprised. I actually cannot wait to give this a try. I bet this will actually be a pretty decent game. And anyone who visits the blog, please tell me you visit the blog. If you don't, please visit the blog. You may notice that I have a soft spot for really junky, low-budget, bargain bin shooters. And naturally, these two seemed appropriate. Terrorist Takedown, which I think is like published by City Interactive, or developed by City Interactive, the makers of Sniper Ghost Warrior and a couple of other relatively low-budget military shooters. And Marine Sharpshooter. This was made by Jarhead Games. They were makers of such games as Navy SEALs, Weapons of Mass Destruction. Any old school GameSpot fans may know what that is. If not, there's a review of it written by Eric Wolpaw of Valve, at all things. Hey, pays the bills. I got these because they're probably really dumb, and I want to have some right material to eventually write for potential bargain bin blog entries. I'm probably going to abandon the budget hell name that I had used previously because, honestly, not everything is bad. There's some diamonds in the rough. There's some good ones out there. I just need to find them. Now, I'm going to give you a good hot tip. Always check the magazine rack at a thrift store. You know why? You'll find stuff like this. Now, right up on top here is a Nintendo Power Strategy Guide for the original Final Fantasy. It's in pretty decent shape. It's been a little war-torn. It's got some wet pages, some visible tearing there, unfortunately. But, yeah, it happens. But it's in good shape, and, you know, anyone who wants some high-quality Final Fantasy, I'm going to tear the page and I'm going to hate myself. There, I ruined the resale value. Then again, I probably wasn't going to sell this. It's better than my copy of Super Mario Bros. 3, the strategy guide, which I think is in even worse shape. But yeah, this is pretty good. This is an interesting piece, but the one under it is actually even more interesting. It's called Nintendo Strategies, and it's basically a ring binder full of like hint pages that look like stuff you'd probably see out of a Nintendo Power, but I have no idea who the publication is. Like, it tells who publishers are. I mean, hey, if you want to know where companies like Acclaim and Bandai have their American offices, which probably don't exist anymore, there you go. But there's no copyright, no publication. I have no idea who published this. I have no idea who wrote this. I have no idea about this list. And of course, a bunch of Game Informer issues. I got some Army of Two, Tomb Raider 2013, some Greatest Characters, Infamous 2, LA Noire, and Bulletstorm. Now, you may think, why the hell would I buy a bunch of Game Informers? Well, all these books here were all at the same value village, and it cost me $2.03 for all of this. $2 for all this is not a bad deal. I don't care who you are. That's not a bad deal, especially for old Game Informers. That's about as much as I'd pay, is about $2. Now, I have a friend or a colleague whom she does a webcomic that's about some high school drama involving animals called Bittersweet Candy Bowl. I don't know. I don't read it. But I do read her other comic book, Not Enough Rings, which is kind of an homage to the classic Sonic the Hedgehog games. Well, apparently, they're moving away from Australia, moving back to the States. They said, hey, you want some games? I obliged. And I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, BJ, it's going to be PAL. You can't play it on an NTSC PS2. Well, look at that motherfucker. Do you see the E rating there? I don't see no, like G-rated green triangle, whatever the hell the Australians use. Yeah, Katamari Damacy. I've played Katamari games, but never actually owned a Katamari game. And I thought, hell, why not? And, looks like this was used as a, kind of can see, like, coffee pot stains. Looks like this was used as a coaster. And when I got it from traveling from Australia, the disc was actually really badly scratched. When I tried to play it, you know, the audio stuttering in the game crashed. I had to actually get it resurfaced at, Video Game Wizards. Awesome place here in Portland. And, I seem like all their stuff that they sell for Bittersweet Candy Bowl, it actually came on this really, really cute envelope. It's really nicely well drawn. Hiding my home address, obviously, because I don't want you to know where I live, you creepy stalkers. Though I think this is no longer valid, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Well, I thought this was cute, and I can't get rid of it. It's too cute. And, you know, Katamari is awesome. Katamari is awesome. Go read those comics. You don't have to tell them that I sent you, or whatever. Just go read those comics. They're cool. Here's an obligatory, Madden 95, complete in box for Genesis. You think, why the hell would you buy a sports game? Good question. A couple buddies of mine at Hardcore Gaming 101 do a monthly podcast on which they choose a game, play it, and then talk about it for about an hour or so. This one on one of those months. It's kind of funny because imagine a bunch of nerds who. Well, nerds, I guess, is a pejorative. More like a bunch of gamers who, you know, play strategy, play RPGs, play shooters, but don't really play sports games. So, it was a wonderful experience for all of us, including myself. Even though I didn't participate in the podcast itself, I did actually participate in this little event. One of my friends kicked my ass in overtime, bastard. But yeah, $2, not a bad deal. It's my second ever Madden game I own. I own Madden 92, the one with the ambulance, and I think it was an interesting little curiosity piece. And a second, water break. Talking for 11 minutes straight, goddamn. Alright, this is a very recent acquisition. I was climbing through the same Value Village that I found those magazines at. And I found first this little soundtrack CD for the hit Xbox video game NHL Rivals 2004, which comes with a bonus DVD, actually. Let me crack it open here. CD's on the other side, naturally. I'll actually probably write about this in the near future. But that's not what I thought the cool part was. It was Master System games. Let me get these in frame. There we go. Master System games. Hang on, Safari. Let's see. I got Choplifter, Afterburner, Marksman Shooting and Trap Shooting, and Hang On and Safari Hunt. Now, price tag on these say $3, but in reality they were actually half off. They were $1.50 a piece. Now, truth be told, I actually tried to find the Master System in addition to the games. Like, I'm thinking, like, if the games are there, someone naturally has to have the system, the controllers, and all that stuff. No dice. Checked that store 5 times. Could not find it. Felt annoyed. I should totally go back there and see if they have it, you know, because it's been a couple of days since I got this. But I thought these were cool. Start a Master System collection. Unfortunately, I think 2 of these are light phaser games, so I can't play these on the modern television. Alright, and now time for the coup de grace. The one thing you probably saw at the start, and now realize that I haven't covered it yet, for a bunch of reasons. I know a friend who knows a friend who basically, you know, dumpster dives, found a bag with Sega Genesis, a Model 1, and a bunch of games. I already own a Genesis, but I didn't own a lot of these games. Now, I basically just grabbed a handful of them that I thought were interesting and paid $20 for all of these. There were a couple games that in hindsight I should have grabbed regardless. One was Ghosts and Goblins. I couldn't get it to work. I cleaned that fucker at least 6 times, couldn't get it to work. Hellfire was another one. That was a shoot 'em up done by Toplin, the guys who did Zero Wing, you know, all your base and all that shit. And finally, this is the nut kicker, Contra Hard Corps. I let that one slip because I was thinking I don't have enough money to pay for that. I don't want to scam that guy, so I passed it up. I'm an idiot. Go me. But the rest of these I think are pretty good because, again, I was a Nintendo kid for a long time. I had a Genesis, but all I had on it was Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic Spinball, and it's grown a little bit exponentially over the years, but not as awesome as this. So let me just put these all on there, and we'll go through them one at a time, shall we? First, we have here Saturday Night Slam Masters, a wrestling/fighting game by Capcom. From a Hollywood Video, no less. I don't think they're going to be sad that they've lost this, if they even still exist. Oops. Oh, this has sticker residue, that's why it was stuck. This is Road Blasters. It's a driving game where you shoot dudes and try to get to the finish line. I kind of think it's Spy Hunter with a bit of Outrun and maybe a bit of Chase HQ. It's an arcade port. I thought it was pretty fun. Prince of Persia and Flashback: The Quest for Identity. Two spines in these. Do 2 ports of Genesis ports of other games. Thought why not? You know, I heard these were good games. I played the original Prince of Persia through Xbox Live Arcade, but not the Genesis port. This will be interesting. Alright, so Dragon's Fury, which is basically Devil's Crush for the TurboGrafx 16 with some slight changes. Devil's Crush is a series of like pinball games that are actually pretty damn good, and this was pretty damn good too. But for some reason I picked up the sequel, which pay close attention, same cover art, ladies and bastards, called Dragon's Revenge, which is not as good. I think it's made by a bunch of British people who didn't know what the fuck they were trying to do. McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure. This was the one game my friend actually pointed out was the crazy one. Mainly because it's Ronald McDonald, like, getting magical things and having magical spirits or something. I don't even know. I kind of lost that I played this. Funny enough, this was made by Treasure. Treasure, the game developer. You know, makers of a bunch of games that I honestly don't remember offhand, but you probably know who Treasure is. If not, Google it. The Lost Vikings is made by that company you may have heard of called Silicon and Synapse, I think. I think it was them anyway. But they're now known as Blizzard, and this is a strategy game I heard is pretty good. I actually have like a copy of Lost Vikings, I think for either the old DOS PC or the Macintosh that I got sometime last year, and I don't know what I did with it, whatever. And Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, aka Puyo Puyo, except without the Puyo Puyo branding. Yeah, like that in Kirby's Avalanche. You know, it's that same little bean game that you try to build combos with. Bitchin' soundtrack, by the way. This game has an awesome soundtrack compared to Kirby's Avalanche. And of course, the EA games, we gotta cover those. NHL 96 was kind of I grabbed this because he'd have better luck throwing it out the window than trying to sell it, so just took it off his hands. Road Rash 2, which I fondly remember a little bit more than Road Rash 1. Weird. Mutant League Football, which I had heard from people that is a crazy-ass football game. And if you like crazy-ass, non-traditional football, it's probably this or, I don't know, Blitz League or something. And finally, Desert Strike, Return to the Gulf. Heard the Strike games were classic games. Might as well give them a whirl and see if they're amazing. That's it. That's all of them. And that's pretty much it. That's all the games I've gotten over the course of the past 6 months. Hopefully I will not slack off on doing this anymore. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment, subscribe. Trust me, I'll try to make more substantial videos in the near future. Honest. Peace. Ooh.